Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. This is probably the last segment of our series of intrusive thoughts, transient thoughts, OCD, HOCD, and negative thoughts. And hopefully that would be another edition and helpful edition for you to ponder on. Now the question here that we want to discuss, or the topic that we want to discuss, is that why do we have these thoughts even they get a chance, even though it's not our thoughts, it's a thought, intrusive thought shows up in our head. Why do they even get a chance to show up? Yes, we discussed it due to signaling malfunction of the brain between frontal cortex and amygdala. We discussed this, and of course the experts and scientists and psychologists have discussed that in their videos far better than I can. However, and we know that all the scientists and psychologists and have through their research declared and clearly that everyone has intrusive thoughts of different kinds. Pedophile, harming someone, throwing someone in front of the train on the train station, or jumping off the cliff, or stabbing someone, and they can't be around their children. Sometimes they have intrusive thoughts, or homosexual thoughts, all kind of intrusive thoughts that people have. That's known that everybody has those, but the ones who are not into a OCD glitch, they just think of it as, oh, what was that? And then they move on with their own regular things. But the one with OCD glitch, because of the malfunction, the signaling system between the cortex and the amygdala through the thalamus, they simply get stuck in there, and the signal doesn't shut off, which we talked about in the other videos. But we want to address why intrusive thoughts have a chance to actually form. Why? How? And that is because we haven't understood that thoughts are not separate. There is only one thought. Thought is one thought. It's connected. There's only one thought, and out of this one collective thought, we pick pieces. And while we have access to the whole ocean of thought in one place, mix-ups and mistakes and interruptions in selections all can happen, because it's like an ocean of thoughts when you're going in there, and if you're just simply trying to pick something up, it could also pick something else with it. It has access to everything when you're thinking of something, because it is not separate and independent thought. It is part of one thought. It's part of the collective thoughts. It's all connected. It's not like you have different thoughts in different pigeonholes in your brain. It's one consciousness and thoughts and information of everything possible in this universe that you have come to know by history, news, papers, reading, lectures, internet, whatever it is you heard, they're all in there. And a thought trying to come up with or thinking about a certain subject is in connection and is in touch with, and it's in the vicinity and proximity of all other thoughts. It's not like separately waiting for him to go pick up these thoughts. It's in the ocean that it goes to pick up that thought, and it has access to others. So it just runs with another tangent while trying to pick up and realize that particular thought. All other possibilities of thought are all there, and we are pretty smart, we're pretty alert, and so we're pretty wise, and we're capable of noticing things. So, and because we are not really experts in focusing abilities until we actually train our mind, while we're trying to look for something, we just go somewhere else. Attention span and focusing span is very limited, and we are curious about everything, so we simply are going to look for. It's like you're going to buy something in a store, in a big department store. You know what you want, but before you actually find what you want, you've gone to different departments. You wanted a tie, you've gone to shoes, you've gone to socks, you've gone to jacket, you've gone to ladies section, perfume, talking about your girlfriend, you've seen the food. Everything is there, and you're capable of being aware of it. So even though you intended to buy a tie, before you get there, you have examined so many things. Thought is like a department store. It's like a library. It's only one thought. Everything is there. On your way to that one thought, you cross so many things, and when you get to that thought, it leads to so many other thoughts, and the mind, with its own amazing capabilities, runs with it everywhere. So when you have these intrusive thoughts, it's not that you were looking for intrusive thoughts. First of all, it wasn't your thought, it was just a thought. But how does it have access to it? Because it's available. In the inventory of your mind, your brain, the consciousness, all these sexual, murder, everything, to you good or to you bad, every kind of thought and possibilities are there. That's why we can be inventive, because we have ability to use our imagination, to turn it into inventions, to turn it into things that it was even unheard of, not even possible to think about, unimaginable, but we can imagine. And because of that, thought, remember, is one. You are floating in it, or it's have a big reservoirs of ocean of thoughts, and it is not separated from each thought. That's why every time you think, it can go any different way. And you see a guy, you can go sexual thoughts. You can see a woman, you can go all kinds of other thoughts. You can see in a horse, you can go all kinds of, and from the horse you can go to his mane, and the mane goes to textile, you can go to anything else that can possibly be imaginable by our power of imagination. So if you think of this, that you're floating in thought, and thought is one, they're all one, stuck together. When you enter to pick a thought, it's not like, okay, you want to think about sex? Here's the girl's sex, you can go here, and here's the guy's sex. Oh, so I'm not interested in that, you go to the girls. But that's not like that. As soon as you think sex, everything about sex can come, because it's been out there in the world as an information, and you've been privy to these information. It's in the pool of thought. So as soon as you think of it, all kinds of it can come. And then if you have a signaling malfunction problem at that time in your mind, that sticks. And because it sticks, you didn't even choose it. Intrusive thoughts didn't even want it to be intrusive, but it had access, and therefore it popped up, and you have that signaling malfunction problem in the OCD realm. Then it sticks there, and you say, oh, it means something about my sexuality. I'm going to be gay. I'm going to turn gay. I've been in denial. I didn't know that. Because why these thoughts are there? Another man's body. Well, because another man's body is connected to any part of that means sexual, because you have all that parts yourself and you consider them sexual, and therefore that is the same kind of a part that you already have, and you attribute that to sexual part, therefore you attribute the same wordings and label to that sexual, and that goes to all other things that is available, possible to imagine, because it's all happening in the pool of thought, because thoughts are not separate. There is only one thought. Thought includes everything. the moment you tap into it, it can take anywhere you go because you're capable of. But that doesn't mean that you are being described by thought, because the ability to think of everything is our strong point. That's why we can make things, build things, advance in life, invent things. But it also means that it can go anywhere, but you're not supposed to mistake that ability to imagine and go and pop up any kind of thoughts and go anywhere in the ocean of thoughts would describe you as suddenly your gender is going to change or you become homosexual. Just remember, thought is only one thought. It's not what you're thinking that is separated. It's part of one thought. You had to go to the pool of thoughts to pick up this thinking. And when you're in a calm day and no OCD and no intrusive thoughts and you hit the target, which you usually do, you come up with the thought that you selected to expand on. But it is always possible that thought can hit all kinds of other things while he's trying to pick up one subject that he wants to focus on, and then he says, why are these things there? Because you're swimming in the ocean, and in the ocean there's all kinds of things: fish, shark, worms, snake, debris, sand, everything is there. And you're going to say, what? You wanted to actually be a food for the shark? You wanted to swim with the snakes? You wanted to be part of it? No, you just wanted to swim. But by doing that, you're exposed to everything else. And that doesn't mean that you chose that. That doesn't mean that you're described by that thought. It just means that you are in the environment of thought, and you have no choice, because there's only one environment, one universe, one nature, and one thought. So every thought represents every thought that is out there. And it can go to different things. You imagine them, then you get bamboozled. Oh, no. And then you react to it. Well, of course you react to anything. And if it's sexual, you react sexually. And then you say, oh, that means I'm homosexual. No, that's how it works. Thought brings emotion. Emotion and anxiety are all different kind. Something that you're not gives you the anxiety of intrusiveness kind. And then the thoughts are all connected. So you can go and think of anything without you really intending to it. So don't be bamboozled by that, and be aware of that. You are living in pool of awareness, a pool of knowledge, pool of existence of all kind of things, which means all kinds of thoughts. You're living in thoughts. It's natural to think weird things, intrusive things. It's part of being alive, part of being alive, part of living in thought. That's where you're living, and that causes all kinds of thoughts that is not you, has nothing to do with you, is irrelevant to you, but it's part of the ability and living in thoughts. I hope that helps you to at least understand why these things have a chance to pop up and show up, and don't be bamboozled by it. Stick to your core muscles and core beliefs and what you are and who you are, and understand this is part of being a human being. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.